Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jai Paramang Samparibrahya Acharya Sakari Smala Nam Saraswati Goswami Bhagavati Jai Nanda Gori Vaishnava Jai Ramacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Jai Names of the whole Sri Krishna Sri Radha Krishna Bhogavna Sam Kanda Radha Kanda Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Guru Dwarka Dham Ki Jai Swami Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai All glories to the All glories to the Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, and all glories to assembled Vaishnava devotees. We thank you all for being here today. It's the first day of the week, Monday, and we are blessed. We have His Grace, PANCA GAUDA Prabhu, who has been so generous, so kind, and he's been visiting us several times and sharing his love and wisdom with us. And so, Prabhuji, we're very much thankful to have your association once again. You're welcome
Thank
to
you.
Hare Krishna, Africa.
Hare Krishna.
So we may put the verse on the screen and then you may take it over. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, verse 4. Shrinvata Shradhaya Nityang Grinatas Chasva Cheshtatam Kalena Nati Dirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Shrinvata, of those who hear, Shradaya, and earnestness, Nityam, regularly, always, Grinata, taking the matter, Cha, also, Swachetatam, seriously by one's own endeavor, Kalena, duration, Na, not, Ati Dirghena, very prolonged time, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, Vishate, becomes manifest, Hridi, within one's heart. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Cheap devotees or materialistic devotees of the Lord are very much desirous to see the Lord personally without meeting the requisite qualifications. Such third-grade devotees should know well that material attachment and seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. It is not such a mechanical process that the professional Bhagavatam reciters can do the job on behalf of the third-grade materialistic pseudo-devotee. The professional men are useless in this connection because they are neither self-realized nor interested in the liberation of the audience. They are simply interested in maintaining the material establishment of family attachment and earning some material benefits out of the profession. Maharaj Parikshit had no more than 7 days to live. But for others, Maharaj Parikshit personally recommends that one hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, nityam, always by one's own effort and with serious devotion also. That will help one to see the Lord Sri Krishna manifested in one's heart within no time. The pseudo-devotee, however, is very anxious to see the Lord according to his whims, not making any serious effort to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and without detachment from material benefit. That is not the way recommended by an authority like Maharaj Parikshit, who heard and benefited by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Ram Mandir Ki Jai. I don't know if everyone noticed, but in India, the whole country celebrating the opening of Shri Ram Mandir. We had last 3 days of Ram Katha. We had a nice play, Ramayan, today in the temple room. And I also went to Agra. We had a big Shobha Yatra there. And everyone is flying the flag of Ram. So this is incredible, this Srimad Bhagavatam. And when the sages at Naimisharanya were asking, now that Lord Krishna has left, then who will maintain the religious principles? Because yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutananga dharmasya tadatmanang sujamyam. Krishna, the Lord, he comes again and again in many forms. He came as Lord Ramachandra, the goddess of fortune Sita came. His other incarnations came as Lakshman, Shatrughna, Bharata. Whenever the king comes, he comes with all his associates, secretaries, and commanders. So the Lord also, he comes to this material world for the benefit of all of us who are conditioned, who are imprisoned in the prison house of Durga, Maya, because somehow we've misused our minute independence. We've come to this world to enjoy. We want to be happy. And our first problem is we want to imitate the supreme enjoyer, the supreme Lord. It may sound simple, but Krishna, whatever he does in unlimited ways. Just imagine how many Vaikuntha spiritual planets there are, Goloka Vrindavan, and so many living entities love worshiping Krishna, serving Krishna, friends with Krishna, parental relationship with Krishna, a loving relationship. All the things, relationships that we see in this world are a reflection of the spiritual world. And there's unlimited universes in the material world. Not hundreds, thousands, but millions, many millions of universes are here. In this little tiny universe of ours, we're hearing a little bit from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the sages were asking, what is the protection of religious principles during this age of Kali Yuga, now that the Lord is gone? They said that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the incarnation of the Lord, that the words of Krishna are non-different than Krishna. So Vyasadeva, who is also an incarnation of the Lord, he thought it wise, because in Kali Yuga, we are very slow in spiritual advancement. And in order for us to have guidance, light in the darkness of material existence, Srimad Bhagavatam is brilliant light. But also for those who are cheaters or rascals, namang dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradama maya paritagyana suram bhavamashritam. Those who are simply in a cheap way wanting to imitate the Lord does not reveal himself. And many times people follow religious principles because they feel that by following religious principles, then I can have the benedictions of economic development and sense gratification. Even in our Krishna consciousness movement, it's not just a social club. It's actually meant for seriously taking up this process of hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. Because the more we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the more Shrinvata Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantisto Hibidranu Virinoti Suhritsatam. That this chanting of Krishna's names and hearing of his wonderful glories and pastimes from the Bhagavatam is cleansing our heart. Lord Chaitanya appeared as the essence of merciful incarnation. Rupa Goswami is glorifying Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishaya Namaha. So the same Lord Ramachandra, same Krishna, same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Sadbhuj manifestation he showed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya as Lord Ramchandra with bow and arrow, Krishna with the blue hands and his flute, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his renunciation staff and kamandalu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came again because we're so stuck in so much in darkness in this material world that even though Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, teaching again the Bhagavad Gita, Evam Parampara Praptang Emang Rajarshayo Vidu, that this knowledge of the Bhagavatam or the absolute truth is handed down from the godly kings, Rajarshis, and this message of Godhead is handed down very carefully through the Guru Parampara. Because if you read in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada speaks about one lady was looking for a copy of Bhagavad Gita. Although there are many, many books or copies of Bhagavad Gita translated by philosophers, politicians, and people who may be feeling capable of writing some commentaries, but none of them give a real understanding of what is bhakti, what is devotional service, and how to surrender to the Supreme Lord, and how to submissively surrender to the pure devotee. And that pure devotee, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personally, his personal associates and his direct disciples, Rupa, Sanatan, Bhatta Raghunath, Jiva Goswami, who's known as the greatest translator of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the 6 Goswamis, they scrutinized all the literatures, and they've given us this Srimad Bhagavatam, and they've given us nectar of devotion. And we have so many wonderful literatures coming in the disciplic succession. But not only the Goswamis, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, ultimately ordered Srila Prabhupada, take this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and spread it to the whole world. So imagine how Srila Prabhupada is translating all these Sanskrit texts and taking commentaries from all the great acharyas and making the words suitable for our understanding. When he came to America, in India also, it was very difficult because 100 years ago, and especially in the villages, maybe even still some now, before all the modern technology of televisions and advertisement, and all day long, they would till the fields, do their duties, and all come together in the evening to discuss Ram Katha, Mahabharata, Ramayana, the glories of the Lord. Everything was related to Krishna, to Lord Ram, and the Lord's pastimes. But as Kali Yuga progresses, people are becoming short-lived. Even during like Treta Yuga, they could live up to 10,000 years. Dwapara Yuga, 1,000 years. And Kali Yuga is deteriorating. Now, if you make it to 60 or 70, oh yeah, I had a good life, I lived my life. This is all reflection of the darkness of ignorance. This material world is a prison house of suffering, birth, old age, disease, and death. And how fortunate can we be that Srila Prabhupada, under the order of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, under the order of Krishna, he came to America in the mid-60s when people were searching. It was full of hippies and people who were taking LSD and all kinds of mind-altering drugs, looking for something different than what their parents had, something different than the society was offering, because people were not at all happy. And even they were protesting against all the Vietnam War and this war and that war. And look at today's society. Today's society is completely lost, and everybody is fighting. And that fighting is based on the bodily concept, I and mine. This is my family. This is my community, my nation. This is my religion. You know, the color of our skin, or the religion, or the background of which we were born. We're thinking that this is who we are. And unfortunately, even though the scientists, the teachers, the social reformers, the poets, the artists, no one can give us real guidance as to what is the purpose and goal in life, because any kind of mental speculation or intellectual gymnastics or reading books, many books from different people's opinions, cannot help us understand what is the absolute truth. The absolute truth comes from Krishna, from God himself. And we'll see how Parikshit Maharaj, he's asking Shukadev Goswami to tell me everything. How is the world created? And you know, how does everything work? So Shukadev Goswami was very happy. And then of course Sutta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya is again coming down in Guru Parampara. But when Lord Brahma was created, first the Lord creates this world. We have to ask, well, why is the world created? Well, why does the government create a prison house? Because there are persons who want to act independently of the laws of the state or the laws of God. So we have our place in the spiritual world, but the material world is created, and not only is created, but all the different species are there. There's 8,400,000 species, maybe not all on this planet, in all the different universes, all the different planets. There's reptiles, there's aquatics, there's plants, there's beasts, there's human beings, and then there's demigods. So from the highest form of life, whether one is a demigod or a human being or an animal or a worm, every living being is an eternal spirit soul, part of Krishna. Jivera Swarupoi Krishnera Nityadas. We're all eternal servants of Krishna, but we're taking on different identities according to our desires and our activities, karmana, daivana, trena. So Krishna's instructing Mother Nature, the demigods are giving us facilities in different bodies. But the problem in the material world is that no materialistic person can give us guidance, because we have imperfect senses, we have a tendency of being illusion, we have a cheating propensity, and we're sure to make mistakes. These are called the frailties, the four frailties of human life. But Krishna is absolute, he's transcendental. And the pure devotee, he's empowered by Krishna, because a pure devotee, a real guru, is representing Krishna and simply delivering the message of Godhead. So for myself, from the very beginning, especially in Krishna consciousness, Someone asked me yesterday, so what made you, convinced about Krishna? Or, you see the devotees, you see Prabhupada. What convinced you? And the books, the authenticity, if in the association of devotees with an open mind, with faith in Krishna, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading Nectar Devotion, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these Vedic literatures, they penetrate the heart. They awaken our enthusiasm and our determination. It's not simply a lazy armchair recreational activity. It's actually meant to be approached with enthusiasm, determination, and eagerness. You have to, lolyam means intense desire. So we have to intensify the desire. How do we do that? Well, I find early morning reading out loud every day, steady. Regulated life is so important, because if you are staying regulated, Prabhupada gave us the morning program, the Mangal Arati, the Tulsi Puja, chanting with the devotees, hearing Bhagavatam class together. I know many times we can hear it on the internet or we can catch it on TV, but if you can, if it's available and you have the time and the freedom to come and sit with the devotees in the Bhagavatam class, is very powerful. Satang prasangam mama virya sangvido. It amplifies the intensity. And when you're reading, read it. I like reading it out loud because you're engaging your eyes, your tongue, your ears. And even though we may think, I have so many desires, I need wealth, I have so much lust, so much greed and envy and all these impediments. A genuine devotee thinks, I'm not even a devotee. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was saying, I'm lower than the worm and stool. Obviously, such a great exalted devotee, but it genuinely feeling humble. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching us, be humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, ready to offer all respects to others. That's difficult because of our egos and because of our feeling that I don't need anyone. I have my own ability to understand what is the truth, or I can figure things out on my own. The great Einsteins, or the great scientists and philosophers, what have they accomplished? Can they produce an ant? Can they produce a chicken or something? But the fact is that no amount of material combination or science or speculation or theories or mental gymnastic, as they call it, will help us understand what is the nature of the soul. The soul is eternal. It's existed in the past, it's existing, we're existing now, we're going to continue to exist in the future. And there's no solution to the problems of material life, but the real solution comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Bhagavatam, when systematically and respectfully heard with oral reception, with faith and belief that, yes, Krishna is my Lord, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karna Karnam. He's the cause of all causes. He's the cause of everything, the father of everyone. So we have a little time in this human form of life, and we're fortunate enough to take birth on this planet Earth at a time when the Lord empowered his messenger with Shakya Vaishavatar, his divine grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I have no personal qualifications, but I have faith in the words of my spiritual master. That is my qualification. So we may not within ourselves feel, I can't sing, I'm not very good philosophically, I don't have much devotion, I'm trying. Yes, but we have to sincerely try to serve our spiritual master, and spiritual master is connected to Srila Prabhupada, is connected to the Guru Parampara. It's like extension cord. You plug into the extension cord, is plugged into all the extension cords which go to the powerhouse. So we have a wonderful opportunity because Prabhupada's books are here. Prabhupada is here. Is the person who spoke all those lectures, Srila Prabhupada's lectures, hear them. You get up in the morning, first thing you do, you put on the lecture. You go in your bathroom, put on the lecture. You're getting dressed, put on the lecture. You want to hear as much as possible and have readings once, twice a day. Hear Bhagavatam. I'm reading Lila Amrita. It's so good to hear about the pastimes, the struggle that Prabhupada underwent, set the example, being a pure devotee in the family of Vaishnavas, start, worshiping the deities from as a child in Jagannath, and then going through school, meeting his Guru Maharaj, taking care of family, responsibilities, but always fixed on service to the Lord, starting League of Nations to help people get out of the ignorance of Maya. But people are so bewildered. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Mamivaye papadyante mayame tantarantite. This divine energy of Krishna is difficult to overcome. Impossible to overcome. But those who surrender to the Lord can easily cross beyond it. So the super soul manifests as the Guru, and the Guru is non-different than the Lord because he can deliver the Lord to you. Not that the Guru is proud, but he's delivering the message of Godhead. He can give us this great fortune. And because Lord Brahma, at the very beginning of creation, after hearing the word tapa, he couldn't see anybody and didn't know what was the purpose of his existence. And through this tapasya, this meditation, we're all performing tapasya. What is tapasya? Doing things which you normally would not want to do. Maybe getting up, taking a cold shower in the morning, or rising at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Normally you'd want to sleep in, and chanting rounds and reading literature, associating with devotees, attending festivals, and taking care of your family in Krishna consciousness. All these are austerities that we have to perform. And sometimes giving up those things which you normally would not want to give up. This is all tapasya. So Krishna was very happy with Lord Brahma's tapasya, that he revealed himself. And the beauty of Krishna is described in the next few chapters as you move along in the same section, describing the spiritual world. He showed Vaikuntha, all the inhabitants there, how beautiful they are, how beautiful Krishna is, the radiance coming from their body, and the joy of their existence. And Lord Brahma, he was the Chatur Shlokas of the Bhagavatam, the essence, was given to Brahma. And Lord Brahma realized the Bhagavatam, Janmad Yasya Yato Vayaditaratesh Chateshu Vigyasvara Tene Brahma Hridayad Kavaye Mayanti Yatsurya. So the Lord in the heart revealed the Vedic literature, and Veda means knowledge of the purpose and goal of life, knowledge how to get out of the entanglement and imprisonment of repeated birth and death, samsara. So we're having a wonderful opportunity at this time to help in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, broadcasting the message of Krishna consciousness to all the suffering living beings. It's an actually emergency. It's a like, the world's on fire. Everybody's struggling, and including ourselves, suffering. But we have medicine, real medicine. We have the chanting of the Lord's holy name, Goloker Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan. From the spiritual world, the holy name is coming. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of the Lord. Every word, every sound from Srimad Bhagavatam is cleansing, cleaning the heart. So it's an opportunity which should not be neglected, because if we waste our time simply trying to enjoy the temporary flickering nature of this world, it'll ultimately lead to depression. What's happening? Old age is coming. Diseases are coming. And ultimately death is coming for everyone. So the scientists are giving Nobel Prizes to these people who are making nuclear weapons so they can more quickly kill people. Everyone's going to die anyway. So before our old age, disease, and death comes and we become all choked up or bewildered by the glare of Maya, the illusion of so-called philosophers who don't really understand anything about the absolute truth. Our real hero are the acharyas. How the 6 Goswamis can give up being ministers, being, and Rupa Goswami had so much wealth, he filled up a boatload of gold. And everyone was praising them. Oh, you're so intelligent. Sanatana Goswami, you speak so many languages, you're a minister. And what the Sanatana Goswami said, who am I? Why was I forced to take birth in this body? Why are the threefold miseries giving me so much trouble? Ariatmika, Aridaivika, Aribodhika. Ariatmika, the mind is troubling me. My senses are troubling me. Today I don't feel like talking to anybody. My mind's disturbed. Ariatmika, Aridaivika, oh, earthquake. Everything is shattered. Hurricane. Trees are uplifted. Houses are blown around. Tornadoes. Heat, cold. Nasami, the wave comes and completely washes everything to pieces. So the mind and body is troubling us. Lord Indra tried to destroy Vrindavan with all its, Samvataka, the Samvartika clouds of devastation. But Lord Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill with his little baby finger and protected all the cows and all the residents of Braj, and showed Indra that you're not in control. You're just a servant. But this is all Leela, showing us what 7-year-old can pick up a mountain, and you think, oh, how I can believe all these things. This is the nature of Krishna consciousness. With our tiny brain, we cannot accommodate the transcendental world. How Krishna can marry 16,000 queens or make a fort in the ocean, Dwarka, and be in every single palace with each and every one of the queens. And what to speak of, there's so many demons, killing so many demons, and speaking Bhagavad Gita, which is still being totally respected and appreciated by all academic communities. But unfortunately, this Maya, this illusion is so strong. That's why we ended up in this world, because we want to forget Krishna. We want to become the enjoyer. And when we cannot enjoy this world, when we're frustrated, then I want to merge with the oneness. Actually, we're all God. There is no God. We're all God. I remember in my days of transcendental meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi back in the early 70s, attending classes, and they show a picture of a big, cosmic consciousness in a little bubble. And as that bubble expands and opens and becomes part of the rest of the cosmic consciousness, we all become one. That one unit is God. So this is they call it the last snare of Maya, thinking that by my meditation, by my austerities, I will become God. God doesn't need to meditate or perform any austerities. He's God always, from the beginning. As a baby, Krishna showed lifting Govardhan Hill, also marrying 16,000 queens, but it's unlimited. And when we hear some of the fantastic stories in Mahabharata, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, and we try to fit them in our brain, thinking, well, how can there be, millions and millions of servants of somebody, or how can Krishna do all these things? There was that story of Narada Muni met that one Brahmana who was very learned, and he asked Narada Muni, when you see Lord Narayan, ask him when my liberation will come. And then there was a cobbler, a very simple person doing his simple services, asked the same question. So Narada Muni told the Lord that this Brahmana wanted to know when his liberation would come, and also this cobbler, simple devotee. And if they asked what the Lord was doing, tell them that the Lord was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle. So when Narada Muni came back, the Brahmana said, "Oh, Narada, so good to see you again. So did you ask the Lord when my liberation will come?" Said, "Yeah, it'll take some time." "Well, what was my Lord doing?" And, "Yes, he was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle." "Oh, Narada, you're telling so many stories. You're just, making up so many things." So Narada understood that this is a matter of faith, and thinking that God is limited to our intellectual or mental capacity, trying to comprehend how is the Lord creating, producing unlimited universes from the pores of his skin. His one breath is hundreds of millions of years, the life of Brahma. Then the cobbler asked again Narada Muni, what was my Lord doing? He was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle. So my Lord is so wonderful. And Narada said, how is it that you believe such a thing? Then he gave the example of a banyan tree. I'm just sitting here. A banyan tree has a fruit. That fruit falls. One of the seeds has the potency to create another banyan tree that has unlimited fruits. Anyway, there's so many examples. The moral of the story, which I didn't do great justice to, I was very quickly trying to explain it, is that we need to have faith that the Lord is unlimited. Srimad Bhagavatam has the key to unlock all the mystery of spiritual science. But this nasta prayeshu badreshu nityang bhagavata sevaya bhagavaduttama shloke bhaktir bhagavati naishtaki. We need to hear the Bhagavatam daily and with attention. Let it enter our ears, let it enter the heart. It'll give us strength and give us enthusiasm so we can push on. Because we're all struggling. Everybody struggles in this world. And but the more we associate with devotees and the more we remind ourselves of the importance of our spiritual life, then more quickly we can lose interest in the temporary enjoyments of this world and really focus on helping one another, each other, family, This is our real family, Krishna conscious family, that we want to serve Krishna. We want to follow. Prabhupada, what makes you most happy? That you become Krishna conscious. And the way to become Krishna conscious is to attend the kirtan, sit in the kirtan, hear the mantra, and listen to the Bhagavatam class daily. These are some points, but it's very essential. The Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing, listen to Prabhupada's lectures. Also, there's audio books from BBT. I also have recorded all the books that we can, if you cannot find the time to read, there's always time in the car when you're driving or walking down the street. We have so many electrical gadgets where we can hear the Bhagavatam and hear the path back home and be inspired. When I'd be doing Sankirtan book distribution, some days it was ecstatic, very ecstatic, but some days no one would take a book. Everything I said didn't make much sense, and people would, be very irritated. So then when I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, like a cloud came over my sunshine, I would open Prabhupada's book and read, and Prabhupada would give guidance, give a message. We have to have that kind of faith that whether we're apparently successful or unsuccessful in our attempt in our service, the results are for Krishna. And by having faith in Krishna, Krishna will empower us, just like Arjuna was totally empowered by Krishna. But then he showed at the end, when Krishna was gone, that same Gandiva bow, I'm the same Arjuna, but he was defeated by some simple cowherdsmen. So we like to honor and glorify Srila Prabhupada and glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have a great opportunity because our society is growing. The Krishna consciousness movement will continue growing. We should be part of it. We're the pioneers. Actually, all of us, all of you, we're all just in the beginning of this golden era of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This message will spread, and we should be part of it. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Hare Krishna. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful delivery of Krishna Katha, as always. Lots of points to take from the sharing of Krishna Katha. Kusha Prabhu, please, you may unmute and go ahead to speak.
Thank you. Krishna Prabhu Mangal obeisances. My question is on the issue of listening to Prabhupada lecture, even in the toilets or taking the book to the toilets. But the toilet is known to be inauspicious. And sometimes when we take the books to the toilet, we can drop it in the table, or just the environment alone is not clean. So when we listen to Prabhupada speaking in the bathroom or his books, it's not offensive. Can you clarify on this, please?
Thank you. Good point. No, I don't bring the books in the toilet. I mean, the recording machine, it could stay outside the door as well. But the point is that we should be hearing, turn it, put it where you can listen to it. You don't have to be necessarily in the toilet area. But the main point is that if you have time, hear the Bhagavatam or chant the holy name. I guess that was the point I'm trying to make, because it's hard just to think, okay, I'm going to sit down now and listen to a lecture. But if you have a habit, right when you wake up, put it on. You're here 15, 20 minutes, even before greeting the deities at 7 o'clock, because I come do recording. just to put the dhoti on and maybe, put on your tilak, even 5-6 minutes, the message is incredible. So the point is listen as much as you can, because this is the hearing process is what is most important. Shravanam.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Prabhuji, if I may say something briefly in regards to Kusha Prabhu's beautiful question and the wonderful answer you gave. I'm reminded of a pastime of Kavi Kanapur. Kavi Kanapur, we understand, was personally blessed by Lord Chaitanya. And that's how he became a poet at a very tender age. And he once saw Lord Chaitanya with his chadar almost in his mouth, holding his tongue. And so Kavi Kanapur asked Lord Chaitanya, my Lord, why are you doing that? And then Lord Chaitanya said, my tongue cannot stop calling on the names of Krishna, but I'm going to use the bathroom, which is unclean. Therefore, I'm holding my tongue from rolling and calling on the names of Krishna. And Kavi Kanapur surprisingly scolded Lord Chaitanya. He says, how can you do that? What happens if you leave your body on the bathroom? Then what do you do? So, like you're saying, and of course, Lord Chaitanya praised him. He says, yes, you have understood the philosophy. So we may not go to the bathroom with the books. We may not go to the bathroom with our gadgets, but calling on the names of Krishna should not have any restriction, whether it is pure or impure. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Tribhuvanath Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Oh, I know that Tribhuvanath.
Yes. Mighty Tribhuvanath.
He's a Brijabasi now. He's a Brijabasi. Yes. He blooped, went to Vrindavan and lost his heart in Vrindavan.
His Grace Panchagada Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhu, thank you for always coming to our platform to enthuse us. We are very grateful. We keep being grateful to you. Prabhu, my question may not be related to today's sloka, but a study shows that among the presidents who have managed the Vrindavan temple, you are exceptional and you have some dynamic and vibrating quality that have sustained you to these days. So I was thinking it would be very meaningful and well appreciated if you share some of your principles that have really helped you to this day, so that we can always build on that in whatever area we may find ourselves, especially when it comes to area of managing, whatever it may be. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you for the wonderful question, Tribhuvanath. I'm going to see you in Mangalartik time, I think. Okay. Well, I asked a similar question one time, whether one's ability, or one's determination or one's enthusiasm is, inherent. Like I sometimes see my mother, she's very, organized or very positive and determined. So we may have various attributes which are conducive to managerial abilities or whatever it might be. But I just found that the steady program is so important. Whether it's when I was going on Sankirtan, we were very regimented. It's almost like a military boot camp of some sort, and that regulation is really important. So I find that being regulated, being in a happy state of mind, because it's no good being miserable anyway. You should be happy. And also, the more we learn how to deal with devotees in a friendly way and it inspires the devotees to do what they do best. And I feel being on Sankirtan for many years helped me to kind of balance the happiness and distress, because management, sometimes you get a lot of challenges. People may not be up to the standards, or things may not be going the way we expect them to go. But I feel being steady in your Krishna consciousness, if you're Krishna conscious, then difficult things become easy. If you're not Krishna conscious, even easy things become very, very difficult. So instead of just trying to mentally manage and worry about it all day long, be focused on chanting your rounds nicely, hearing Bhagavatam, attending the programs with enthusiasm, the kirtan. I find that majority part of the little difficulties that arise in the minds of devotees, a lot of that is dispersed by your positive nature. Stay positive, smile, and try to stay Krishna conscious as best you can, and really try to serve the devotees. Anyway, this is something that we all have to work on, interpersonal relationships, and but we don't want to get too complex, because Prabhupada gave a very clean, simple formula. Only thing that's lacking in this world is Krishna consciousness. The little difficulties, like preaching is the essence, books are the basis, purity is the force, utility is the principle. So the utility means the utilization of our intelligence. We have to see how we can befriend and actually love one another, and care for each other. It's not a matter of just discipline and hierarchical, that I'm in charge, I'll tell you to do that, or doubting everybody for everything. Sometimes we get negative people and it's not very inspiring. So better be positive and try to be as Krishna conscious as you can. That's a very tough question. Thank you. I'm going to see you later.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for asking the question, for us.
Thank you for
a little bit of understanding of how Prabhuji has been doing what he's doing. Thank you so much for sharing. We have two hands up, but Prabhuji, I have one quick question. And that is, a few days ago, I shared a statement made by one guru on our WhatsApp platform. And some people were asking questions as to how the statement came about. But the statement reads like this: we hide behind excuses that people do not join the Hare Krishna movement because of our principles. In my view, we present our movement in a way which is hopeless in attracting the majority of the people. And then we blame the public like it's their fault, because self-criticism is something we do not do. And an example of this statement is that oftentimes we hear some devotees say that as a devotee of the Lord, you are not supposed to have anything for yourself. Whatever you have, whatever money, whatever material thing you have, should all be used for Krishna's service. And therefore, if even excuse to say you are a Grihastha devotee, you're not supposed to keep anything on you. But we read about Sri Sanatana Goswami. You were talking about Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, how materially rich they were, despite their spiritual richness. That even Sanatana Goswami saved some money for eventualities. Now, if somebody is trying to join and he's being told that when you become a devotee, you don't keep anything for yourself, how is that going to attract people to join us? So my question to you is, as much as we have some of you, the first disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who walked with him, who knew him, who saw how sweet he was, who are still with us, and we're still seeing these changes. What happens after all the immediate disciples are gone? So my question in brief is that, what do you say as per your experience, direct experience with Srila Prabhupada, should a devotee behave in such a way that he can live his material life and still practice Krishna consciousness? Hare Krishna.
Well, Srila Prabhupada personally said that he felt that he could, in the chemical industry, make good monies for spreading Krishna consciousness. And many devotees who may have to take care of family and responsibilities and that are earning money, but if they're, I think it means that we need to apply everything for Krishna's service. I mean, if we all have to become responsible, it's not that I have to give it to the temple president, or I have to give it to the temple and let them figure out the best way of utilizing the funds. It's a very fine line, as they say, because as brahmacharis, when you first come, you think, yes, I'm fully surrendered. That's good. As you're surrendered to spiritual master, everything's for the spiritual master. And I'm just dedicating myself in the service of the Krishna consciousness movement. But as many will get married and have responsibilities to have a Krishna conscious family, and they may have, they need a house, they need a car, they need different things for the children and whatnot. But the most important aspect is to be Krishna conscious. Like, who is that? Srivas Thakur, that was every year supplying or organizing the whole yatra for all the devotees to come and see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So obviously he had the means, the funds, the finances, and there were several devotees, let's speak of King Prataparudra and others, even Ramananda Roy, governor, and had so much wealth was there. But the important thing is that we utilize everything in the service of Krishna, and somehow we have to see how to do that. I was a Sankirtan man for many, many years, and through Sankirtan and book distribution, I even I've started several businesses, and funds were accumulating, and I want to utilize it obviously in Krishna's service. But at the same time, we have to be practical, that we ourselves can utilize those funds properly. It's hard. Some people say that, no one should get any salary, no one should get any maintenance. But I feel like if you have a devotee who's very qualified, and in some aspects of our devotional service, in order for spreading Krishna consciousness, he's a seasoned preacher, he's a nice devotee, but obviously he has a family and responsibilities. Now we could say, okay, well, temple can't help, you got to go out, and then you lose that opportunity of working with a devotee who's dedicated time and energy. Better to give some maintenance, in my opinion, because not that he's there to earn money from the temple, but the basic maintenance facilitates him to serve the temple even more and be more productive. So we have to utilize our ability to determine that I'm not just accumulating money just for I can have the best, the new Maserati and all the latest diamond earrings and gold necklaces and chains and whatever else money buys you. But we should be careful that we don't get sucked into the whole idea of sense gratification. But if you're taking care of family and your responsibilities, and you're serving your deities nicely, or also helping the mission, as one like Sanatana Goswami received that blanket from his brother-in-law, even though he renounced everything, Lord Chaitanya kept looking at that blanket of Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami understood, oh, I'm in the renounced order of life, I'm a sannyasi, so I shouldn't have these things. That's also another thing. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, different categories, different mentality, different stages of advancement. But there's also Sudama Brahman, who is a Grihastha, but totally renounced and just had nothing practically. So I'm beating around the bush. I'm not really answering your question 100%, but I think utility as a principle falls into this, because we have to use our intelligence how to become Krishna conscious and how to utilize everything in Krishna's service. It doesn't mean that you have to, we're giving everything to Krishna, but also you can, as a mature person, you can also utilize it to manage your family properly. Maybe you can ask more questions based on that. I think that all of you studied all the hardest questions and they're throwing them at me here.
I'll tell you, the answer you gave to my question, I believe is 101% right and satisfactory to me. Thank you so much for answering my question. So Madhuvan Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
All glory, Prabhu. So thank you very much for giving us this very wonderful lecture. My concern is when you mention about leadership and the problem that is going on in the world right now, you can see that even the democracy, socialism, all the type of isms that we are practicing now, it all appears to be failing, because right now there is problem, there is war, there is the typical example is that of the UK. I think is it last year or year before the last year, almost 4 times they changed their prime minister, until they now had Rishi Sunak, which I believe is also a devotee. And since he became the PM of UK, it's been going on with the governance. So my opinion is that this Krishna consciousness that we are practicing today, to me sometimes I think it's like we are trying to reintroduce Vedic culture, So I don't know how far we can go in that extent. It's like we are trying to reintroduce this old culture. And when we look at Vedic culture also, it's very, very similar to African culture. So then you also emphasize from the previous person who made a previous question, I don't know, when he commended you for your efforts, when you are the temple president, and how you are successful. But of course, the reason must have been that because you're a devotee, somebody who is not conversant with absolute knowledge is going to, it cannot be a leader. Because without this knowledge or Bhagavatam knowledge, as a human being, we have 4 defects: propensity to cheat others, propensity to make mistakes, to be in illusion. So all these things, those are the problems with our leaders. So how can we reintroduce this Vedic culture for the benefit of the world or the human race this time around? Hare Krishna.
I hope I grasped everything. It may seem a little bit difficult to implement Vedic culture in the present circumstances, but modern technology and the way the world is at present, the civilization is got a crack in the infrastructure. The whole idea of if you think about the industrialization and the modernization of the world with automobiles and airplanes, and what to speak of computers and now cell phones and going to the moon, going to Mars, and all these things, and you can see how, despite the fact there's a United Nations, more flags are coming, and there's no peace. It's increasing more and more because the material world is the nature of the material world. And as Kali Yuga progresses, there will become a time when civilization becomes back to the land. We have to actually, this Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha, that this brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. There's always student life, there's always married life, there's retired life, and then there's a sannyas, that you're preparing yourself to dedicate yourself. Then there's always that the social order is such that we need to understand how to implement that so the society can move forward. Because it doesn't matter whether, how you say, Trump is president or Biden is president, or this prime minister, that prime minister. The Vedic system was obviously through the king, the Rajarshis, and they were following the orders of the Brahminical community. So we want to again make Brahmanas. We want to make persons awaken their spiritual life, and then the Kshatriyas, or those who are leading the nation and the general public, they're taking guidance from the Brahmanas. And then we have to set up a society in such a way that there's the Brahmana is the intellectual, is the brain. You need your head. Yeah, they say you got to think clearly. You protect yourself with the arms and the administration. This is the Kshatriyas. And then we need to fill the belly. So the agriculture has to be there. The rockets and machines and computers and the slaughterhouses, they're not going to provide food. We have to till the land. So you have your Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and then there's the legs carry the whole operation, the workers who are happy just to serve the other orders. Eventually, we have to again establish varnashram system, meaning that there is a division according to quality and work. Because all these leaders who are misleading, like the blind person leading a whole pack of blind people into the ditch, nobody's going to be happy. It's all just going to be fighting and struggle for existence. So the political arena, we keep note of it. I'm sure everyone sees the horrible situation with Israel and Hamas, and then now all the Arab nations are fighting in Pakistan, and this one and that one, and in Africa there's problems, in Haiti there's problems, in America there's problems all over the world, and these problems will continue as because we're in Kali Yuga, we're in the material world, and Krishna is giving a solution in the form of sending Prabhupada, giving the Bhagavatam, giving the Gita, although we may not see how this Chaitanya's golden era is going to manifest itself based upon the present political situation or the political, how are we going to introduce? Prabhupada felt when he came to Harbor in Boston, in New York, how will these people ever accept this Vedic culture, these teachings? They're immersed in the modes of passion and ignorance, addicted to lust, sex and intoxication and meat eating and gambling. Everything, they're immersed in all that. How will they accept this philosophy? But Krishna, if you make my words suitable for their understanding, by your grace, by your power, make my words suitable for their understanding. So we have to work on ourselves to become strong and steady in Krishna consciousness. Many incredible young devotees are taking up responsibilities. As our society matures and grows, we're going to become elderly very quickly. And Krishna makes these arrangements. We should have faith that Krishna, he'll empower the youth even more so. We're the little bit bumbling pioneers, The pioneers means you make a lot of mistakes. We're trying to form the society. What is the GBC? And then we have so many regional secretaries and so many different layers of management, spiritual management. So eventually we'll be able to present the Bhagavatam and the Varnashram Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, to guide the public in general, who'll have no other shelter, because after they bomb each other to pieces and kill one another and the infrastructure breaks down, they're going to have to take shelter and guidance. And Krishna consciousness is the only guidance that'll really satisfy the need. Nothing else will work in this world. I'm not sure if I understood your question thoroughly, but I kind of hinted around that area.
I think you got his question right. Yeah, I think so.
I
Kusha
think so
Prabhu,
also.
yeah, Madhuvan
Yes.
Prabhu, thank you. Kusha Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhupada Krishna, thank you. My second question, please, is on the translation of today's verse. So they maybe can put on the board, please. The translation of Prabhupada. It says persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously. We have the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, manifested in their hearts within a short time. There comes my question. So, like devotees have lived in temple 30, 40 years. They hear Bhagavatam every day. And this Bhagavatam is supposed to manifest in their heart in a very short time. But physically, relationship-wise, we are not having cordial relationships. Does it mean that this Bhagavatam is not having effect in our hearts because we are hearing for 40 years or 30 years? Can you explain why the Bhagavatam is not authentic or the hearer is not hearing? I don't know how to explain it because so many devotees around the world globally are facing some serious relationship issues with some devotees who are regularly hearing this Bhagavatam.
Good question. But Prabhupada said within 1 second, one can actually achieve that platform. And you see Dhruva Maharaj, within a matter of like 6 months, and he became so powerful. So although we're hearing, but what's really being absorbed in our very being is also layered by many, many desires to enjoy in this world. we have thick coat of envy, lust, greed, fear, anxiety. There are a lot of how you say, filtering factors. So then, although we're trying to hear, we're trying to hear submissively. It says, you know, that Shrunvata Swakrata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridanta Stoya Vidrani Vitunoti Surisutam. Practically, you know, by daily hearing the Bhagavatam messages cleans the heart practically, you know, completely clean. I mean, it's been 50 years next year. It's not, you know, some devotees been around for 55 years, but we don't really give it a numerical count because it could take lifetimes. Bahunang Jamanamante Gyanavan Mang Prapajate Tangs, that out of hardly anyone, even those who are searching for the truth, they understand. So we're really on an accelerated course. We have a super fast elevator taking us to the top, where else everyone else is just taking the staircase, which is taking thousands of births, billions, hundreds of thousands of births. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, feeling really sorry for us in Kali Yuga, he's given us the holy name. We may think, well, the holy name has always been available, or the scripture has always been available. But there's a special potency here given to us by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that it's a matter of loyum, intensity of desire. If we increase our desire, if we open the valve more, then more will flow, the nectar will flow. So we may, in our own calculation, think, well, I've been doing it for 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's not fast enough for me. That patience has to be there. They give the analogy when the husband and wife get married. Okay, my dear husband, I want my child now. You have to wait. You got to take some time, you know, serve. It takes time for development. So the patience is enthusiasm, determination, but patience has to be there. Even when Mukunda was told that after so many hundreds of thousands of births, you'll get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he started dancing in ecstasy, feeling, oh, good, I'm going to have the association again of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can't really calculate in our intellect or our, you know, mathematical calculations that, well, you know, so this devotee's been chanting for so many years and still he has no good qualities, or, you know, still has not realized the Bhagavatam. Whereas Dhruva Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj, right from, he heard in the womb of his mother, and he came out a pure devotee. Shukadeva Goswami heard from Vyasadeva, came out a pure devotee. So, and others may take a long time. The important thing is that the message of Bhagavatam is very purifying, and the Lord will manifest in our heart, but he has to be pleased. He knows what we're thinking. Krishna's in our heart. He understands what our desires are, what our intentions are, more than what we know. And so by hearing Bhagavatam, glorifying him, Krishna is happy by that. And only by his revelation can we really understand what is the essence of the Bhagavatam. And that also manifests with the pleasing the Guru, because it's pleasing Krishna. It's a good question, but patience.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Kusha Prabhu, for the question. I also have a question from the same text, Prabhu. I was thinking that was what Kusha Prabhu was going to ask, but it's a little different from the question I have, Prabhu, is here. Krishna, this is Parikshit speaking. Parikshit is speaking because he's speaking from realization. There are persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously, will have the personality of God that Shri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. So this is my question. We understand that the very moment we are born, the Supreme Lord is already with us in our hearts as super soul. So what does Maharaj Parikshit mean when he says that the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, will manifest in our hearts when he is already there as a super soul? How
Well,
do we...
it's like the two birds on the tree.
Yes.
The two birds are there on the tree, but one bird is so busy eating the fruit, he doesn't notice that his friend is watching him and looking after him.
Yeah.
He's just too busy. I know one time I walked into my grandsons, they're playing with their video games, right? I said, hello. They don't even know, they don't even notice you're there because they're so absorbed in the video game. And so we're so absorbed in eating the fruits of this material existence, of trying to figure out what's best for me, that although the Lord is right there next to us, we're not seeing or perceiving. So the Bhagavatam helps us turn our face to the Lord, who's already there, but he's not there because we have our back to him. We gotta give up the fruit eating business or trying to enjoy this material world, because the two don't go together, it says there, right? Yeah. It says the same thing right there in the purport, that it's that material attachment and seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. So basically, it's due to our material attachment that's keeping us from seeing the Lord face to face. But by reading Bhagavatam, it helps us give up that material attachment and see the Lord face to face.
All right. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji has been so generous to us. He's given us so much of his love and time. So I guess without further questions.
I have one more question.
You have one more question? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu. I'm sorry, it's late in India, but I will disturb you later. Prabhu, this issue of a Ram temple that was opened in India, can you give us a little bit of the story, what happened, what ISKCON did about this festival?
Well, during the time of Aurangzeb, when the Mughal rulers 500 years back, they were maybe they were destroying the temples and establishing mosques and different things. So just my idea of speculation that the present governing body in India wanted to again reestablish the Sanatan Dharma, or the tradition. If you see all the ancient temples and the deep, rich culture of Barsh, that it's become minimized by modernization and so-called imitating the ways of the West, looking for happiness through technology and science and whatnot. So it just signifies that when they announced that they need donations from people for the Ram temple, immediately 1,000 crores came, from the whole the nation's looking for that. Prabhupada said in India, Bharata Bhumi te hola manushya janma jar janma sadka kori kara parupakar, that being born in a land of Dharma, so many Lord's incarnations and whatnot, So this one way of maybe rallying the whole nation to again take up the Vedic culture of Sanatana Dharma. I don't know if that's ultimately what's going to happen, but it seems as though, especially in India, people are excited about the idea of opening the Ram Mandir, and it's
Yes,
become a
Prabhu,
national.
like we have ISKCON is holding the whole temple for Prabhupada, for Krishna, also Ramachandra. This Ram temple is under whose management? Is it state of India or state of where it is built, or which organization is in charge of this temple?
Yeah, it's not an official like ISKCON temple, but ISKCON is being more and more recognized and are participating in the inauguration and the you know, how you say, the to present it to the culture of India, also to remind them, because Modi in particular came. I was there in Delhi when he came for the glorification of Bhagavad Gita, and many places the government's written how
Oh,
He will be back.
he's still here, but
yeah, it will connect.
But the fact, did you
yeah, we're
lose
hearing
me?
you now.
Yeah, we lost you for a second, but you may go ahead.
Yeah. I noticed there's something. Yeah, it's not managed by ISKCON, but I think due to Srila Prabhupada's influence and due to the presence of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the Indian leadership is recognizing they need to reestablish their Sanatana Dharma. Don't chase after modernization and technology of the West, thinking that'll bring me happiness. So I see it as all Prabhupada's mercy that Vrindavan's become such a mega for pilgrims that people are coming to Govardhan, Radhakund, Vrindavan, Mathura. The government's investing money in, refurbishing all the ghats and establishing it as a spiritual place, Ayodhya and whatnot. So it's Prabhupada working through his books and through his society, and those who are pious and fortunate are, I believe, catching on to some extent. And it's going to grow even more rapidly as the snowball goes down the hill. It's going to get bigger and faster. This is a good start. It's a good start.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Srima Barar Prabhu, you have something to share? Are you still here?
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Okay.
My humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. But just a contribution to the last question that Kush Prabhu just asked. But there's an organization in charge of this. They're called RSS, or the Hindu Sevaka, or sometimes they say Harya Samaj. There are many names for them, but they are popularly known as RSS. This Hindu organization, They're a little bit political also. And they are behind the government. I mean, they are behind the government that is there today. I mean, they have to bring this Bhatia party to government. So they are interconnected somehow. RSS or Hindu Sevak, whatever it is, it's an organization very popular and fighting for Hindu cause, right? So they are behind this. Well, there's more we can say about it, but it's not for our platform. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Well,
there are many factors. Many factors are involved, but I think the essence is that we need to reestablish Sanatana Dharma. Let's see where Krishna takes it from here.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. His Grace Panchagoda Prabhu, I sent you a message. If you may check on it and then or discuss it later. But we would like to humbly request all the devotees to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our appreciation to our revered uncle, His Grace Pancha Gauda Prabhu Ki Jai. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Chakalpa Taribya
Panchakalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhuvacha Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Pancha Gauda Prabhu Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hey